Today's episode is brought to you by HelloFresh. Do you feel like you're stuck in a dinner rut? With HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-measured ingredients with mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. Skip all those trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. You can now enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in 30 minutes or less. With over 25 recipes to choose from each week, there is something for everyone to enjoy. All recipes are designed and tested by professional chefs and nutritional experts to ensure deliciousness and simplicity. Go to the link in our show notes to get $80 off, including free shipping on HelloFresh, the #1 meal kit.
You heard the rest. Now here's the best. Stay Tuned Sports Podcast.
And hello there, all you Stay Tuners. Welcome back to another episode of Stay Tuned Sports. It's your good friend Jimbo here, back again, alongside football. I mean, granted, it's preseason, but hey, it's football. It took us a while to get here, but we're finally getting a little taste of some of the football season with only about 3-4 more weeks before the regular season actually starts. Got to watch my Philadelphia Eagles play last Thursday against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and was quite impressed. So I'm going to give my highs and my lows to that game, as well as the Field of Dreams game was last Thursday as well, with the Chicago White Sox and the New York Yankees playing. Going to talk about that too as well, because like I said, I may have posted on Twitter or something like that. It was definitely a very good game to watch. It was one of the first games in a long time I actually enjoyed sitting there watching. But before we get all into the topics of the show, head over to staytunesports.net so you can follow all of our social media accounts, which is on the right hand side there, our Facebook, our Twitter, YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to that, because you're going to want to see some videos that we're going to be doing, hopefully, during the NFL season. I might kind of do little spoofs or something, especially with our good buddy King. Maybe I could get him to do some videos with me. But also, on the website, on the top there is our merch tab. If you just click that, t-shirts, hoodies, I think we have a hat there. But I have just added also a brand new t-shirt, which is the Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series 2021 season, which was this past season. And we're going to be talking about this, the last race coming up. But it has the schedule on the back there, the Stay Tuned Sports truck, the NSRA truck, kind of racing in the background. Pretty cool looking design. So if you want to head over there and purchase a t-shirt, I would much appreciate it. And if you don't, that's fine. Just head over to www.buymeacoffee.com/STS Sports, and that's just another way you could help show your support to the show, whether it's buy me a beer, buy me a coffee, whatever it is I have there for that day or whatnot. But it's most likely buy me a beer, especially with the football season coming up. So, and with the football season coming up, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to want to use this next thing I'm going to kind of plug here real quick. It's our chat line. You know, I'm going to have a lot of opinions about the upcoming season, where it's the Eagles, or how they're going to destroy the Falcons the first week, which I highly doubt is going to happen. I think the Falcons offense is going to be poo-poo, you know, with Julio Jones being gone. So, you know, even right now, you know, you guys may not agree with my opinion, so give our chat line a call. It's 612-STS-CHAT. Very simple, very easy to remember too. Just leave your message, whether it's how good I'm doing on the show here, or a disagreement you have about one of my opinions, and you'll be able to get on the show here. I'll put the message on there for you. So, kind of alluded to a little bit earlier, a couple of seconds ago. This coming Friday is the last race of the 2021A Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series, podcast truck series. And, you know, each week I've been giving updates about, you know, the review of the prior week and the preview of the upcoming week. And I gotta say, the guys put up a hell of a season on. Definitely a lot of hard racing, a lot of entertaining races, I should say, and some interesting crashes as well as some heartbreaks. And I'm actually going to be talking about another heartbreak in this segment. Well, just going to jump right into it. Our good buddy JT Poole, bad luck, struck again during this race. He was just dominating the race. He was leading 105 out of 130 laps for the race. And he needed a win. He needed a big finish to get into the top 4 spots, because the top 4 is going for the championship next week, or tomorrow, I should say, Friday. And with, I think it was like 4 laps left, just disappeared out of the race. At the time, we didn't know what happened. Afterwards, we find out that his computer had to do an update and turned off. So needless to say, JT did not make it. And this is a heartbreaker because just a week before, he had probably the weirdest netcode glitch crash, however you want to call it, of the season. Talked about a little bit last week where iRacing pretty much thought Colin Olivery was going to be sliding up, who was 2 cars ahead of him, and just smashed JT up into the wall, which pretty much took him out of the race. And now this past week, he had that happen to him. He raced really well all season. Like I said, just unfortunate that his season came to an end due to that. Another little bit of upsetting news, I guess, if you want to call it, as far as the STS truck. James Lorello did not show up, which pretty much eliminated him from the top 4. So the STS guys will not be bringing home the championship of the inaugural Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series. And then, speaking of Lorello, going into last week, I had one of my must-watch racers was Lorello and Chris Darling. See if there's any of that bad blood was going to roll over. Well, Chris Darling did race and quietly had a good night. He finished in 5th place, and he's moving on to the championship round. And there was any altercations as far as Chris and the S2R guys. But as far as the winner, Jason Gracias, won the race. He was catching up to JT, but like I said, JT just dominated the whole race and just had that unfortunate incident happen to him, which eliminated him from the championship round. So as far as the championship round, the 4 racers that will be vying for the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series Championship are Chris Darling, like I just mentioned a little earlier ago, Andrew Himmelman, who's been on fire, past few weeks, maybe 4, 5, 6 weeks. Stan Hausman, who's kind of my, he's the underdog. He's like he's the Rocky, and these guys are like the Apollo Creeds and the Russian. And then the 4th guy is Matt Cherry. Excuse me. So as far as those 4 guys, who do I think is going to pull off the win? I'm going to go with Chris Darling here. He had a few bad weeks there that just seemed like he was not going to be able to make it into the chase, or at least get up there to move to the next few rounds. But past 2 weeks, he's been doing really good. Finished back-to-back in the top 5. But the biggest test for him is going to be, I think, Andrew Hillman, because, like I said, he's just been really quick past month, 2 months or so. And I'm probably going to get shit for bringing his name up, Andrew's name up, come Friday night, because the little joke that we got going on, it seems like whenever I call Andrew's name, whether a racer to watch or in the chat during the race, he ends up getting spun out or crashes. So we'll see if the STS Kiss of Death affects Andrew this week. Hopefully not. We'll see what happens. But make sure you guys tune in Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, over on YouTube. And also make sure you guys subscribe to 3White TV. That's who broadcasts all these races. Peter Short and Drew Eisman are top-notch broadcasters, and just make it fun and entertaining to watch. It's not just your simple play-by-play color commentary. They like to get the chat involved. I know Peter puts up a lot of polls, which some of them are pretty cool. So make sure you guys tune in Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, over on 3White TV on YouTube. And then before we go to the next segment, we are still taking some racers for next season if they want to join, or if a sponsor business or a podcast wants to sponsor a race. Head over to the NSRA's Facebook page and send them a message, and they'll be able to give you the information you need so you could sign up to sponsor a race or join the series. So at the top of the show, I said that the Eagles' first preseason game was last Thursday. They play the Patriots actually tonight, Thursday night, for their second game. And first glance, the first, and I'll even say the second team offense looked really well. And the biggest thing that stuck out to me was the fact there was no penalties. At least for the first string offense, there might have been one or two for the second team. But even that's quite impressive. Usually the first game or two, you see a lot of penalties, and just because it's their first game back. The player that I think really stood out the most, Quiz Watkins. I mean, he played with Jalen Hurts and Joe Flacco. He got reps with both of those guys. And Jalen Hurts, I gotta say, his deep ball, he had a deep ball pass to, I believe it was Quiz Watkins, just missed him, right off the fingertips. And Quiz probably could have got it after watching the replay. The defender held him, and no penalty was called. But definitely, if he would have caught that, he was gone. As much as I liked Carson always had the trouble with his deep ball. He was very inaccurate with his deep ball. So that was a nice thing to see for this offense, that Jalen could have that deep ball touch and the accuracy there. As far as our defense, tell you what, man, our front line is going to be nasty. They got a lot of push there. Our linebackers, Alex Singleton, just maybe we finally found a replacement for the past 3-4 years that we've been looking for one. He was just all over the place. There was one play where I believe they were down inside the 5 going in for the touchdown, and he was on the left-hand side, the left hash. Play went to the right, and he still stuck the guy about 3 yards deep. This guy just balls. The middle of our defense there, Hargrave, just manhandled those guys. Now, as far as the second team, when it came to the second half, because I believe at the first half, at halftime I should say, we were up, I think it was like 16-3, because Joe Flacco, again, Quiz Watkins, just did a little 5-yard dump off and turned it into a 79-yard touchdown. I texted our friend Shoulders, and I said, I think we have our new Deshaun Jackson 2.0. He just, when he got that corner, he just took off. So I think, you want to say that he's going to kind of fly under the radar, but after watching last week, I think he's on notice. Now it's going to be curious to see how this week goes, because, again, it was only one game. It's preseason. I saw some reports coming out that the feeling towards Jalen Hurts within the front office is kind of switching over to him as far as being the future of the franchise and getting away from Deshaun Watson, which please do, because even more troubling news is coming out about him. And you don't have to give up 3 first-round draft picks. You can build around Hurts if Hurts is the guy. But it's only one game. Okay, yeah, he looked good. Had a nice touch on the ball. But let's see how he does against the Patriots in the second game. You know, we heard too many stories during training camp that he would have 2 or 3 good days and then just one really crappy one, and then 2 or 3 good days and another crappy one. If he has another good outing against the Patriots, all right, he may make me go, maybe, you know. But I'm not ready to do that after just one game. After our first and second stringers, though, and that's when our third stringers came in, was in the second half there. Man, if we get hit with the injury bug like we've been getting hit with the past few seasons, and we gotta start playing third stringers, we're done. We're in deep shit. We're not gonna win any games because they were just god awful. And going up against, I think it was Haskins. You know, I know he was a first-round draft pick and everything, but there's a reason why the Redskins let him go. You know, he's immature, didn't read the playbook. All those things came out about him. Now, maybe he turned it around. Maybe he realized, you know, listen, if I want to be in the NFL, I got to smarten up here. Maybe it worked. But our reserves got to play a lot better. Can't be giving up that many yards and plays. It allowed the Steelers to come back to win 24-16. You know, that's how you're going to lose games. You got to have depth behind your starters. So hopefully the kinks get worked out and we have a better game against the Patriots Thursday night. And we'll see how Hurts and the Hurts-Watkins connection goes. Last Thursday was the Field of Dreams game with the Yankees versus the Chicago White Sox. Was supposed to happen last year, but obviously with COVID going on, which is still going on, obviously, they pushed it off to this year. And tell you what, man, it was cool to watch the beginning of the game, during the game, hearing the stories about the players, the umps. The funniest thing was that I heard was that the home plate umpire showed up to the game 9 minutes before the first pitch because his brother, and his father were playing catch on the original field that was in the movie Field of Dreams. Now, I thought that the field that the White Sox and the Yankees played on was the original field in the movie, but here it wasn't. The owner of the property built this 8,000-seat stadium on the other side of the cornfield of where the field that was in the movie. But still, I mean, it had that like 1940s, 1930s feel to it, look to it, and it was so cool. Even some of the reporters were dressed up in the straw hats and the suspenders, just like back in the day, and it was so cool to watch. Me and my youngest, were watching it. That game came on right before the Eagles game. I had both my TVs going at the same time so I could watch both games. And even he, 9-10 years old, he likes baseball. He plays baseball. But it's hard for him to stay focused into a game the whole time. But he lasted to about 7th or 8th inning and finally said, I'm going to go to bed. Well, I think he missed the best part, because going into the 9th inning, in case any of you guys that didn't see it was living underneath a rock or whatever, obviously I hate the Yankees. I don't like the Yankees, never did, never will. Hate to admit it, I'm an Orioles fan, but going into the 9th, the Yankees were down 7-4 with 2 outs left. Chicago White Sox were the home team, considered a home team. The Yankees made a comeback with Aaron Judge home run and a Stanton home run, going ahead 8-7. I'm thinking, man, goddamn Yankees are going to freaking win again. What the hell? Then the Chicago White Sox said, nope, hold my beer. And Tim Anderson came up, walk-off home run, 2-run home run, 9-8. And that's when I said to myself, everything in the universe is where it should be right now. But, it's just so cool. Even the home run, I mean, not just saying this because it was the home run that beat the Yankees, but the cornfield's right there. The ball goes in the cornfield. Just the setting was really nice. Now, there are rumors coming out that they're already planning for a second Field of Dreams game for next season. And reports are that MLB wants it to be the Chicago Cubs and the Cincinnati Reds. The Field of Dreams game is a cool idea. It definitely is. But I don't think they should make this the setting every season. I've seen some people say, what about the Sandlot? Well, that'd be cool. Like maybe, just maybe. Here's my idea I was thinking about. You think about the NHL. They got the Stadium Series. They got the Winter Classic. My idea would be more basically off like the Stadium Series with hockey. These hockey teams go into a baseball or a football stadium and have a game. What if MLB dives into some of these movies and any fields that aren't Major League Baseball fields set up, games there? Even with the Field of Dreams game, you could do a 3-game series with the Chicago White Sox and the Yankees 3 years in a row. Or if you want the Cubs and the Reds to be playing, have them play on the Sandlot field. Have 3 games there. You want the best of 3, just like the Battle for Pennsylvania with the Stadium Series in NHL, the Penguins and the Flyers. I think you'll gain a lot more fans if you do that, because a lot of these fans would want to go sit, hey, I watched this movie, The Sandlot, and now I'm sitting right on the field itself. And it's an amazing experience. Obviously MLB's doing this to try to get more fans back into watching baseball. I think that's the best route to go. And it's not like I said, you don't have to say right now, but set next year up for another Chicago White Sox Yankees game at the Field of Dreams, and even the following year. So you got 2 years to plan stuff out. Make it like the Super Bowl, where you have it planned out for 4 or 5 years in advance, so that way these cities, these places can get these fields ready and upgrade it to be able to allow these fans to come in. And I like I said, I really think that would be a cool experience for all the fans that want to enjoy this. So up next is our Combat Corner segment, sponsored by BetAngles. Live scores, odds, and the best expert picks every day. Start winning today at betangles.com. So this weekend, we have BKFC 20. You know how I feel about BKFC. That's why I'm doing bare knuckle over UFC. Not many fights on this card, it looks like, but these are some bangers. Every fighter that's on the main card is a heavyweight, so you know someone's getting knocked out. And some of these names you've seen so far, and know they're going to be quick knockouts. So running down the card, the main event is going to be for the vacant Bantamweight Championship, which is a rematch between Johnny Bedford and Reggie Barnett. that win was the champion, but unfortunately him and BKFC couldn't come up with a new contract, so he had to vacate the belt, which, hey UFC, maybe you should take a page from BKFC's book here. Stop doing the interim titles. But co-main event, Alan Belcher, who is a former UFC fighter, making his BKFC debut versus Tony Lopez, who's one of the toughest son of bitches out there, that fight in bare knuckle. Before then, we have Quentin Henry versus Jason Fish. And then kicking off the fight card, we got Bobo O'Bannon versus Lewis Rumsey. So giving my picks here, never going against Bobo. And here's why. And I think I say this every time. He's a Southern boy. He looks like he's punch drunk all the time, so you know he could take a punch. And we've seen that with his match against Sam Shoemaker. Shoemaker landed all kinds of shots and just kept coming forward. Did not want to give up till finally the ref stepped in and called a fight. So I'm definitely going with him. Then we have Quentin Henry versus Jason Fish. Listen, Quentin Henry, he's just another animal. If you get into a bar fight, I'd rather take him over Mike Tyson right now, just because he's such an animal. He has so much power, and I honestly believe this is going to be a quick first round knockout for him. Then in Alan Belcher's debut versus Tony Lopez, this is a tough one. This might actually not end in a knockout, and this might be a legit good fight. Alan Belcher was really cool and really good to watch fight in UFC. But like I said, Tony Lopez, man, he's a tough son of a bitch. I could see a lot of blood being spilled. I could put, honestly, I could put this up there with BKFC 1 when Joey Beltran fought Tony Lopez. And that one is what really got me, and the wife's really into bare knuckle too, to want to subscribe and watch these fights every month. So this one's going to be tough. I kind of want to see Belcher win because this is his debut. I liked Alan Belcher when he was at the UFC. But I could see the old man, Tony Lopez, pulling out the win. So I think I'm going to go with Tony Lopez here with the win. Then for the main event, Johnny Bedford versus Reggie Barnett. Bedford, I believe, won the first fight between these two. He was just quicker and really frustrated Barnett. But Barnett has gotten a lot better since then. So, again, this could be another good fight. But I'm going with Barnett. I think Barnett has more of the momentum going for him compared to Bedford. And I think Bedford's going to be coming in very cocky and overlooking Barnett here. So, Reggie Barnett for the win. I could see it going to the decision for this fight to end the fight too. So that is our Combat Corner segment, which is sponsored by BetAngles. Make sure you guys head over to betangles.com. All your betting needs and all that stuff, especially with the NFL season coming up. So I think that's going to be it for us this week. Make sure you guys head over to staytunesports.net so you can follow all of our social media accounts and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want to purchase one of those 2021 Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series t-shirts, just click the merch tab. It'll take you right to the site, and all our shirts, hats, all that stuff's there. Or you could go over to www.buymeacoffee.com/stsports to help support the show that way. And then if there's anything through this episode that you disagreed with or you want to make a comment about, make sure you guys give our chat line a call, 612-STS-CHAT. Just leave your message. If you want to put your name, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. And you'll be on the show next week. So, till next week, make sure you guys tune in Friday night over on YouTube, 3YTV, for the final race, the championship of the Stay Tuned Sports podcast truck series. So till next week, it's your good friend Jimbo, signing out.